Hello, everybody. Hi. Welcome, guys. How are we doing? Oops. Okay. I hope it's working now, right? Yes, I'm on. Okay, good. I thought I pressed start, but then I didn't. So, hi, guys. I confused myself. How are we doing? Hi Mel, welcome. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Hi S, good to see you again. My loves, how are we doing? Happy new moon in Taurus. Yo, you guys, it's a new moon. This is apparently a very powerful new moon, by the way. Steve, how we doing? Welcome, welcome. We're just gonna wait for a few people to trickle in. Chandra, good to see you again. I'm good, love. I am doing good. I'm just taking it easy today. I've been cleaning, went for a run, taking care of my babies. I have so many animals, as you all know, so taking care of my babies. I'm actually like gonna foster a new hamster, which I'm super excited about. Yeah, so doing my thing, guys. So just waiting for a few more people to trickle in. But happy new moon, guys. So today it's a very powerful day to manifest. So I highly recommend you do your rituals. You spend some time taking care of yourself, nurturing yourself. Today, the Taurus, it's just such a powerful time to manifest abundance, wealth, all of those wonderful things that we like. Um, oh, thank you, S. You love my eclipse meditation at the Owl's Nest. So appreciate that. Sharon, so nice to meet you. So welcome. Madurima, that's a very cool name. Aw, so nice to have you here as well. EI, oh, my man, my girl. I don't know if you're a boy or girl because it's like such a neutral name, but how you doing? Oh my gosh, guys, so good to see you. I see some familiar bubbles there. I'm gonna say bubbles because I see the little bubbles. Um, my goodness, you guys, so good to see you. Christina, hello, welcome. Oh my gosh, you guys, so cool. Thank you for being here. How are we doing? Ab, oh my God, good to see you. So good, guys. So good. So, since a few people have joined now, I'm just going to give you guys the quick rundown for those of you who are new. Welcome. My name is Jacqueline. I'm a meditation coach. I am a channeler, and this is what I do as a pastime. Because, what else are you going to do on a Sunday? Wait, what day is it? Saturday? Sunday. No, it's Sunday. Apparently, I don't know what day of the week it is. Jamie, good to see you. Maiki. Oh, is it Maiki? Maik. I don't know how to say your name, but it's a cool name. You guys have such cool names. So please forgive me if I butcher it. So how it's going to work is very simple. Actually, today I think we should do like a little quick meditation prior to anything because it is a new moon. So I would like for us all to manifest something. And if you haven't, please check out go onto my YouTube channel. The link is probably my bio to my website, which will take you to my YouTube. I did a new meditation today for manifesting. So if you're into it, go for it. But we're just going to do a little like connecting. And then how it works essentially is that I am going to give you a group reading, guys, today. And then S here obviously donated. Thank you so much, my love. So basically how it works is that if you donate, essentially you're going to lock your position in and you're just going to have a little bit of a longer reading. If there are no donations, then I'm just going to take the questions. Obviously hang around. Sometimes it does happen that I do get quite a few donations, like 8 or 9. And at that point, the readings can go up to like 2 hours. So just so you know, though, that if you're here, thank you, Mel. If you are here, I promise you that number one, it's going to be entertaining because, you know, I got personality apparently. And number two, whatever I'm going to tell to other people, it's not a coincidence that you're here. Sometimes people often feel like the reading that I give to somebody else is also something that is resonating with them. I think Jamie here agrees with me with my personality. So, all right, guys. So I got 2 right now who've given donations. Obviously, hang around. If we get through these guys quickly, I will take questions after that. So no stress, no worries. All right, guys, so let's just take a minute. I invite you basically to close your eyes and just connect to your spiritual team and invite them to send you some guidance today, some messages, anything that basically can help you at this time to manifest, to bring about what it is that you want, what it is that you want to align with, and reveal to you basically anything that's in the way, because that's a big, big key to manifesting. So simply just take a moment, It's going to be very, very quick, very simple, but still at the same time, it is always very powerful when you really are focused and clear. And so I want you now to visualize a beautiful white light shine above you, just entering the top of your head, moving into your head, down through your spine, spreading through your arms, spreading down into your body, down to your feet, cleansing and clearing your energy, allowing you to tune in and tap into the higher energies. And now take a moment to invite your spiritual team to give you some guidance, to help you through this reading, anything that you wish to connect with them or communicate to them. And now that you're connected, now that you've asked, you can begin to bring yourself back. And so I am going to begin with the group reading so everybody gets something. And don't forget, guys, these are my cards. They're coming. They're on their way. They're being manufactured as we speak. Super excited about it. So they'll be for sale soon. And I'm still working on the book. I finished finally the first draft. Well, it's like the 700th draft, but you know what I mean, of the final. So let's see what comes up. Any messages for the collective today? And we see what comes up. Apparently I need to sing that. Oh my gosh, that was kind of like an eatable laugh. I'm like, oh, okay, there it goes. Very good. And then I got the calling for this card. I'm going to sing your reading today, guys. Aren't you lucky? No, I'm kidding. That would be the worst thing. Oh my gosh. Okay, I got it. That would be the worst thing for all of us, I think. I mean, I'm not a terrible singer, but I think I'm like a little delusional, where I think I'm a little bit better than what I actually am. So, you know. Okie dokie. Let's see what they've got to say. Okay, so we got the dolphin people. The dolphin people love to play, dance, and flirt. They bring joy and lightness wherever they go. But sometimes they get distracted and lose sight of their goals. Playtime is important, but now is the time to focus. There is something meaningful you need to complete or accomplish. So stay on course and get to it. Okay, so what this card essentially means, guys, is basically that I love the incarnated dolphins, by the way. They're actually they're actual people. They're personalities. I've met a couple. Wonderful. But yes, that's the problem with them, right? So they can get very easily distracted and they're kind of lazy. So when this card comes up, basically it's saying, what are you being lazy about? What are you procrastinating? What are you not bringing your attention and your focus to? You know that you need to put your time and energy into something. However, you've been watching Netflix, you've been scrolling online, you've been doing anything but the thing that you need to put your attention to. And the question here is why? So when we start procrastinating, there's a lot of reasons why, right? But really that's going to be individual. So when I think of it for myself, it's because oftentimes I could be tired, or I could be afraid that what if I put all of this work into this and then it's still shit? Okay, that's actually one of my fears, because don't know. It's just one of my fears, okay? It could be something like you just don't think that you're good enough. You think, what's the point? Whatever that story that you're telling yourself, okay? So we need to start reprogramming that story. And what I tell myself anyway is like, okay, it's going to be shit, but at least I finished it. And then I just do it anyway. So when we become aware of the things that are in the way, don't allow those things to stop you, though. And the other reason why this card comes up is that sometimes we need to elevate our frequency a little bit. So sometimes we're just feeling a little bit too low. Everything's just a little bit more difficult than usual. We might be feeling sluggish. We might be, again, feeling tired, or whatever's going on, right? But essentially, if we can elevate our frequency, bring some joy, listen to music. I was just listening right now to a song that just did something, right? Sometimes music can just do that little thing that gives you that frequency that it's a little bit higher, and then you can go and do things, right? So basically set yourself up for success here. Now, what else has come up? I'm going to put this card away. So we got the Justice card, we've got the 10 of water, and then we got the 10 of air. Interesting, 2 tens, guys. So I'm hearing here mind and heart coherence happening, something about balancing and justice. So an injustice, and I feel like this is not even so much, I mean, I feel like for some of you it is manifesting on the outside, but I think it's more like an internal injustice. Again, I feel like it's related to that. So it's kind of like my heart is telling me one thing, but my mind is telling me something different, or vice versa. And so there needs to be a level of balancing here. And this is another reason why so many of you might be having a hard time following through with decisions or completing tasks or getting through things, because there isn't an alignment within you. And that is also manifesting on the outside with relationships, with situations, with whatever. So again, rebalancing the energies, guys, it's very important. And oftentimes I say, sometimes I know that listening to the heart is very important, right? Everybody's like, listen to your intuition, but sometimes don't. And I don't mean like not your intuition, but to your emotions. Because oftentimes what happens with our emotions is depending on your programming, right? If you're like a type of person who is a little bit victim-y, and you have to be self-aware about that, right? If you have a victim mentality, your emotions are not often going to serve you in the situation. So you got to listen to your logic. So that's essentially how you balance it out. Or if you're the kind of person who's very heady and does not use your emotions, obviously we're going to have to reverse that. By the way, I just realized my shirt is stained with rat food. Okay, good to know. I have been feeding the rats hand because one of them is sick, so I just realized. See, Mama Judy. Okay. So I hopefully that makes sense, guys, but really take a moment to think about where you're at, right? Are you more of a heady person? Are you more of a heart person? And think about the things that you can start balancing out a little bit more. It sounds very simple. It's not as simple as it is. And when you do it, I promise you, it can change everything. Okay, S, so you're first, my love. What's up? What's going on? And what is your question, my friend? I am going to sing. Okie doke. Okay, well, we put an offer to purchase a business. Amazing. The sellers are still thinking, wondering how the process will unfold and if they will accept it. Okay, let's see what comes up. So let me just open up the energies to you. Okay, I'm feeling these cards because these ones are good for business. I'm just focusing on your energy. Okay, that might have been a bit too many cards that. Okay. I love it when they just pop out like that. David, just interested. Cool. Not sure what you mean by that, but hopefully. Okay. Okay, so it's looking good, S. Hi, Karen. Nice to meet you. So, hello. Oh, hello. An excellent opportunity will be offered to you. Scholarship or pursuit of education. Time to get to work. And then your worry is unnecessary, S. Focus your thoughts on the outcome you desire. Release fears, feelings of guilt, worry, and regrets. And then you got the Lover's card. So the Lover's card usually means union. So when it comes to a business deal, obviously it doesn't mean that you're going to like have a relationship in the business. I mean, you could, you never know. But it really means a relationship will be established, okay? So make a choice from your heart. Speaking of the heart and mind before. Emotional commitment, the power of love. So what I'm hearing here, it's obvious things are going to work out. It's going to look very good. But also what I'm hearing here, like I said before, mind and heart, right? Right now for you, what's very important, because this is a very heady thing in a way for you. I feel like there's a lot of worry. There's a lot of chatter. There's a lot of this, a lot of that, a lot of if, what. And they're saying they want you to be a little bit more in your body, okay? And really feel the process. Really be present and connect. Because at the end of the day, even with businesses, guys, what makes businesses is the connection. And you can, I guess, have a heady connection, but it's an emotional connection. So even with these buyers, you want to make them feel a certain way. Okay? So thank you, Karen, for the question, my love. So right now I have two people who have given donations. So I'm just going through the readings that people have given donations, and then I will take questions. So hang around and I will get to you later. Unless, of course, you want to give a donation, in which case you will get a longer reading, but you don't have to. So essentially that's what's happening here. Okay, so there is a lot of work still to be done. I do feel like this is not going to be like a one and done thing. There might still need some negotiation. I don't know if it's complete or something still there. But at the end of the day, what I'm hearing here is basically get out of your head, get out of that anxiety. That anxiety is not serving you right now. It's actually causing more stress, and it's actually lowering, still negotiating. Yes, absolutely. So I feel like that, right? There's all this like paperwork, this business, this things done. So in the negotiation, though, you don't want to be bringing this fear. You don't want to be bringing this energy of like mental stress, right? And think about it from their point of view, right? They're having a deal with somebody who is stressed out. And if you're stressed out, they're like, what are you stressed out about? What do you need to be worried about? So if you're confident, think of it kind of like the deal is done. You know it's going to be successful. Imagine the energy that you will come in with that. It would be very calm. It would be very relaxed. It would be very, very different energy, right? It'll be kind of like, oh, absolutely, anything else that we can work out. You know, it's just this more gentle, easy, as opposed to this like, okay, I got to get this done and this and this and then that frantic thing. We don't want that. So this is where the Lovers card essentially comes in. See it as already the union has happened. See it as already it's a done deal. Everything else that is happening on the sides is just balancing out everything that needs to be balanced out, because it is a deal. It is a business deal. It's not like, you know, yes, okay, done. There's paperwork. There's things to be done. They could still, of course, reject it, right? But in the meantime, if you come in with that reassurance, with that security, with that connection, emotional connection with them, that relaxation, it's like that confidence, basically. It's like you guys are doing the right thing. You are making the right deal. It's not just a win for them, of course, because it makes them feel relaxed doing that business deal with you, but it's also for you, right? You're moving into this with like everything's going to work out just fine, and it gives them the confidence to continue. So ultimately what I'm hearing here at the end of the day is that you need to bring in a little bit more of that confidence and stop listening to that negative energy, because that's definitely not serving you. It can push them away, and it can create, on top of everything else, just more stress for you. Because even if it does happen or doesn't happen, at the end of the day, if you think about it, would you rather go through it stressed, or would you rather go through it with that confidence? And imagine how much more you would learn about yourself and business if you taught yourself how to handle it that way, as opposed to like the default button, which is panic. You know, and a lot of us do that. It's a normal thing. We've all been trained to think that way, but you can change that. So start making different choices and start acting differently, because you do have the power to make that happen. It's up to you, though. Does that make sense, S? I see some familiar faces. Oh, you're welcome, my love. Do you have any more questions? Because I feel like it's pretty straightforward. But if you have any more questions, you still have a little bit more time. Oh, thank you, Sean. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Because if you're good, S, you're good. Christina, I got you down. Thank you so much. You are also going to be taking a test. Okay? Very cryptic. How will it turn out? Okay, well, let's see what comes up here. I hope good. You are a light worker. God needs you to shine your divine light and love, like an angel upon the earth and all of its inhabitants. Also, I realize there's some cards here that I didn't have, but whatever. I want to actually read the card for you today, because I'm wondering if there's something in this. I just got this feeling. Yes, you are a light worker. As much as you have always had the burning desire to make the world a better place, it is deep calling that is beyond time and space. You're often called into service during ordinary circumstances, such as when you're shopping or groceries. Okay, whatever. And someone needs your help. Right now, your life mission is expanding so that you can reach even more people. So I don't know if this for a career change, right? So this kind of could make sense, right? Now I'll get into the yes or no. I feel like it's a yes, obviously, but they're saying that whatever you're doing right now, this is in alignment with what we're talking about. This will require you to make some life changes that you will learn about through your inner guidance. You are deeply sensitive to others' emotions, and it's important for you to clear yourself regularly, especially after helping someone. You can call upon Archangel Michael, your other guides, to clear out any toxins, any cords that have resulted, basically to bring your energy down. You are an earth angel, and we are happy to assist you as always. Just ask. Okay, so a couple of things here I'm hearing from this. I feel like, thank you, Madurima. Wonderful name. So right now I have Mel, Christina, and Madurima. So guys, just so you know, I'm just finishing the reading with S, and then I'll get to you guys. Okay, so I'm feeling like things are going to work out. Again, I do feel like, I don't know if it's going to be an immediate yes or something. I'm not getting a direct message about that, but I am hearing that, yes, this is the next step for you because this is your mission. You are trying to upgrade, and not only for yourself, but for others. But the most important thing, my love, here is that the angels are saying, ask us to help you. Ask us to help you. So a lot of the times when we're light workers, we forget to ask for help. We are always helping other people, and we forget that we have a whole spiritual team basically saying, hey, I'm here to help you. Thank you, Sharon. I'm here to help you, but you are not asking. So there's a whole group of angels, guys, called the unemployed angels. They are freaking amazing. You can call upon them to help you with literally anything. Okay, you need to make a thumbnail from your YouTube video. You can call upon the unemployed angel of graphic design. So S, what I'm hearing here ultimately is that with your studies, with everything that you're doing, you need to start asking more help, because that's essentially how it's going to help you smooth into that transition. Okay. So let me see if we get another yes or no again. I kind of feel like my readings often, they don't like to give direct yeses and no. Yeah, again, I'm getting that download thing, so I do feel like, yeah, it's going to work out for you for sure. So congratulations. Yes, ask for help. Definitely. We always forget to do that. I don't know why. Because we're programmed that way. That's why. We are programmed to be stupid. And I'm not saying that you're stupid. I mean all of us. You are welcome, S. All right, Mel, you're next. Aw, what does your cat Lizzie need? What is in her best interest? Okay, so let me just close the energies with S. Okay, I'm getting these cards again. Too many cards. I kind of feel like these cards might have something to say, but let's see, because sometimes I get the cards, but I see it, and I don't feel like... Okay, it's this one. That's probably why. Coming out. That's good. Ooh, okay. Okay. So Okay. So I'm just gonna see. I'm just gonna tell you what I'm hearing and what I'm feeling, and then hopefully the puzzle will come together. I have to close my eyes because it makes it easier for me to put the puzzle together. So one of the things I'm hearing right now, it's a lot of to do with your stress, with your energy, with your mental stress. You seem to have a hard time making a decision about something, which is stressing her out. She's very sensitive to what you're going through. I feel like she watches you a lot of the time. She's always just like I'm even hearing like your protector, your guardian. She's very like bonded, obviously, but caring about you. And something about the stress, the indecision, more specifically, the indecision, your indecisiveness affects her for some reason. So essentially what I'm hearing here is that it's very important that you become a little bit more determined and a little bit more in charge. So a lot of the times, by the way, animals, guys, pick up on our issues, especially like illnesses, for instance. So for instance, here's a really messed up thing just to give you an idea. Chihuahuas, for instance, their hair, they give them actually to people who have asthma. The reason for that is because the Chihuahuas actually take on the asthma. If you look this up, this is actually a thing. I know this because my husband's family did that. And then the Chihuahuas die early because they take on something to do with their hair. So animals are amazing, but they're not just like take on physical stuff. They can take on mental stuff. They can, especially cats, because cats can get a lot of mental illnesses. They're cray. So one of the things that I'm hearing essentially that it could also be just that she wants you maybe to be a little bit more decisive. My dad had Chihuahua for that reason back in the 60s. Yes, Caitlin. Doesn't it sound insane when I say it and then somebody's like, no, that's actually a thing. And then you're like, huh, she's actually not that crazy. So just to give you an idea, Bambi was her name. Oh, little Bambi. I have little Peanut here, my little Baba. But I don't have asthma, thank God. But one of the things that I'm hearing here, Mel, is that you have the ability to help her as well. You have manifestation abilities, okay? So you see, and it's funny here, it's a dog, but like you see him here with the little pet who's looking at him, right? So make a wish. So one of the things that you can start doing with animals, guys, this is a very interesting thing. You can actually communicate with your animals. There's a way to do that. It's not as easy because, of course, we're human, we're a different species, but it is possible. So one of the things you can start doing is sending images in your mind to them. So for instance, if you're asking if she wants a snack or something, you can send an image to her, like her treat, a picture of a treat. And then you can ask her to send something back to you. And so if you see an image of something back, when you look at them in the eye, don't like stare too much because that's a threat to them, but you get what I mean when you're like, if you close your eyes with cats, that's a safe thing. But if you're like this, of course, they think you're about to attack them. So just FYI. Thank you, Julia. I got you down. So one of the things I'm hearing, again, I don't know why this is coming up, but she wants you to be a little bit more decisive because that is like apparently frustrating her, or something to do with your mind, just indecision. I don't know if you're in a situation right now that it's causing you this indecision, and it might be stressing her out. So essentially your well-being affects her. The other thing is, again, connect with her, communicate with her, and make a wish. So it's like, what do you wish to have with your cat? What is it that you wish for her well-being and for your own? And then stand up for what you believe in. Have confidence, claim your personal power. So again, it's all about empowerment for you, Mel. It's all about empowerment. You got the Chariot, which is like moving forward, and then you've got the indecisive card here, like two heads butting. So I'm not quite sure what's going on in your life, but just be aware that this is something that unfortunately is affecting her for some reason, and it might be stressing her out. But apart from that, nothing else is really coming up. I've never given a reading for a cat before. This is a new one, but it's really through you that I'm getting the reading to her. So cats really, as well, you got to remember that back in the Egyptian days, they were seen as gods, okay? They were very revered and very respected. So they value respect. In fact, if you know anything about a cat, they're just like, fuck you, feed me, or just go away. I don't want to hear you shit, While his dogs are just like, love me. They're like, obsessed with their owners and stuff like that. They're very needy. Well, as cats usually not tend to be very needy because they're very empowered creatures. So again, when they see that in their owners, I feel like sometimes they might get frustrated, or they're just like, bro, what are you doing, man? Just say this or make a decision or whatever. So they're a lot smarter and they see a lot more and they feel a lot more than people give them credit for. But again, I'm going back to, I don't know why I keep going back to this. Like, you have this spiritual gift and you're not using it, I feel, when it comes to her. So whether that's the communication, or whether that's like even for you to feel what it is that she needs, something here. I'm not quite sure. So Mel, you can always let me know if this is resonating or not. And if it doesn't, that's absolutely fine, because sometimes the things that come up aren't always what we expect. But this is what I'm seeing right now. So hopefully it makes sense. Like I said, I've never given a reading for a cat before. But it's very, very clear to me that there is something about not making a decision which is stressing her out. Or it's maybe stressing might not be the word, but it's frustrating her either way. And again, reminding you of the gifts and the powers that you have, and reminding you of communicating with her so that you can have that exchange, so that you can actually receive these messages yourself. It makes sense, and I don't know how to make the decision for her. Right, and that's why she's frustrated. She wants you to make the decision. So, I would say, my friend, that makes sense, right? So, my friend, I would say, here's the thing. It is hard. I don't know what she's going through, okay? But I'll give you an example. One of my rats right now has cancer. He has an eye tumor that is massive. It's like coming out of his eye. He looks like the fucking Walking Dead. I went to the vet, and the vet was like, you should put him down because he's probably in a lot of pain, and he lost weight. Silverback, hey, nice to have you here. And immediately my gut said, no, it's not time. So I put him on painkillers. I gave him, I'm feeding him, like physically feeding him every single day, and he's putting a ton of weight back on. And I told him, I said, mate, listen, when you're ready to go, when it's time for you, when you're in too much pain, when things are not working out for you, please, please, please let me know. And that's how I know. And in fact, he's put the weight back on. He looks a lot happier. He's still eating. He's still hanging out with his brothers. Like, it's too early for me to put him down. Eventually, it's going to have to happen because this is a very aggressive tumor. We already removed it once. They can't operate on him again. And it's starting to spread now. Obviously, at some point, it's just going to make sense, right? But I really just tuned into him and listened to him. And I listened to my gut. And I was like, if I make this decision now, will I regret it? That's another thing that you can ask yourself, right? So communicate with them. Trust that they will let you know how they feel. You'd be surprised. And at the end of the day, they're just a reflection of what's going on within you, right? So I would suggest, my friend, have a meditation, take some time with yourself, and really sit with this decision. And then ask yourself, if I went down this path, see yourself fully going down that path, right? Making that decision, seeing all the good and the bad that could happen. And then go on the other side, the other decision, and again, fully commit to that in your mind, and the good and the bad, whether it worked out, whether it didn't. And by seeing both paths fully, for the good and the bad, then you will know what the right choice is. But you have to make that commitment, and remember, you have manifestation powers. So I have chronic illness as well. Yes, I understand, my love. But at the same time, you can meditate, you can take this time, and it also be empowering for you, right? Because you're starting to learn to listen to your own intuition, and this could also be something that could help you with your own illness. I've healed myself from mental illness. I've healed myself from physical illnesses before. It is doable, but it does take work. It takes dedication. And it takes decisiveness. So once I commit to something, I am fucking committed, whether I fail or win. I don't fucking care. I am 100% committed, right? And so this is what is required of you right now. And I think that's what she's bringing out of you. She's bringing out of you that commitment. Whether you fail or you don't fail, that's not the point. The point is, are you learning or are you growing, or are you staying stuck, right? And if you're stuck, then this is the indecisiveness. That's why she's frustrated, because you're like, dude, just fucking make a decision. I don't care if you fail. I don't care if you make the wrong choice, but just make a choice. Does that make sense, Mel? Okay. So do me a favor. I hope to see you again, my friend. I'm always here, by the way, usually Sundays at 3. Please trust me on the meditation thing, but you really have to commit to it, okay? So sit in the meditation, put the 2 choices, left and right, commit to both. See the worst case scenario on both, okay? And the best case scenario on both. And then in your heart, you will know what the right choice is, okay? You got this. I believe in you. You can do this. Silverback, setting changes. We love changes here. Change is a good thing, guys. I am well, and thank you for the best wishes. I appreciate that. I am doing amazing. Oh, Mel, I understand, my love. I got you back, girl. I'm here. Listen, this is what I'm here for, and I might be a little bit of a tough mom because that's the way I am. But sometimes we need that, right? Sometimes we need that person to say, you can do this. Like, get up. Don't listen to the bullshit in your head. Just go for it, make a decision. And we're gonna make mistakes, Mel. We're all gonna make mistakes, and that's the fucking shitty part about being human. It's hard because we don't want to be making mistakes. But we got to be okay with that, because once we commit, we grow, we learn, and then we don't do it again, right? I know it's scary. I know. But you've got to be at peace. And I think this is, and I'm receiving this is something that got passed down through your family, that being wrong is bad and doing mistakes is a really bad thing. That's not the truth. How else are you supposed to fucking grow? How else are you supposed to know what you want and what you don't want, right? So mistakes are part of life. And when you accept that and you start making the little mistakes, and you start being, it's okay, nothing happened, it's just a mistake, sure, it wasn't the best outcome, well, just keep going. It's important to make mistakes. I remember when I went to acting school, the first thing I said to myself was like, I'm going to fuck up as much as I possibly can, because I realized how big my ego was, that I was never going to take any risks. And so I taught myself to fail, literally, and it was the best thing I've ever done. So just something for you to think about. Okay, so Christina, you're next, my love. Yes, you got this, Mel. So I'm just going to close the energies with Mel. I am trying to figure out a different schooling option for my kids, but there is resistance from my partner and it seems unattainable. I'm trying to manifest it. What's my block? Will this happen? Okay, well, your partner's your block. No, I'm joking. Sorry, guys, I'm a bit of a smart ass, so you're going to have a bit of humor. Now, let's see what's coming up. And it's very interesting that he has a block. He or she. Sorry, just assuming it's a male, by the way. But please don't take offense, guys. I'm making a lot of assumptions here. I am dealing with, like, little bubble heads. And again, energy, male or female, doesn't really matter. But let's see what comes up. And if I'm staring at the screen, it's because I'm staring at your energy, just so you know. So I might look like a creep, but it is necessary for me to channel into your energy field. Very interesting. Okay. Thank you, Sean. Sending you love, my friend. So, missing an opportunity, discontentment, or boredom. Open your eyes to the possibilities. A time of positive change. A situation suddenly moves forward. Fortune is on your side. Wheel of Fortune, sorry. My brain, by the way, I have weird things happening up there right now, so I'm just sharing what's going on up there. Just so you guys know when I do things like that. Hopefully you're getting it. An unwise choice. Learn what you can from the situation. Review everyone's motive. And I feel like this is your husband here. So, what's holding you back is the fact that there's this fear of you missing this opportunity. So unfortunately, there needs to be a little bit of delulu here. When we're manifesting, you kind of have to just assume that it's done deal. And this is what I'm hearing, right? So it's almost like that conviction, where, and here's the thing, you're working against an energy that is, because you're a partner, right? Two of you made your children, so this is a team effort. It's like you're moving forward, he's pulling back, and I don't know why, I feel like he's got these fears. He feels like it's not the best choice for them for some reason, and not quite sure why. So review everyone's motives. So I think you have to look at his motivations and try to understand it from a compassionate point of view, because I think once you understand it from a compassionate point of view, as opposed to he's against me, this is me versus him kind of thing, then you can kind of help him hopefully see your point of view here. Because right now there is this friction, right? And as long as there's friction, it's causing internal friction within you, because you've also got to remember the law of inside and out, right? So whatever's manifesting on the outside, in a way, it's an opportunity for you because it's reflecting on the resistance that's happening on the inside. So this is a very subconscious thing that it's manifesting through your husband. So if you can somehow, I feel like it just needs a level of compassion and understanding from you. You do understand his side. Okay. Very much so. Okay. I don't know what this resistance is then, because I feel like, I mean, I get his point of view in the sense of like his resistance, but there is something within you. I'm trying to feel it, and I'm not quite getting it yet. But I do feel, like I said, there needs to be a level of delulu here, in the sense of you really just got to move forward with this conviction, because I feel like if you really can feel it, I'm trying to find the words for this, and I want to say it right. I don't just want to just like fucking throw fluffy words out there. So let me do one thing here. Let me get some more cards so I can get more of the puzzle. So I'm going to ask a different question in my head, because I think we need more of a solution as to how we can achieve this, if this is the right thing for them, more so than what is the problem, because obviously we know what the problem is, right? And that's not, oh, for fuck's sake, that's not really helping us. Oh! Okay, these cards are very excited right now, apparently. Excuse me. Let's try this again without dropping everything on the floor. Okay, I'm going to read you that card because I feel like it has something to do with it. If there's anything else, please let me know now. I'm just going to try and get one more card out of here. I know there's one more card that wants to come out. So I got the Cosmic Angels. So when the Cosmic Angel comes out, and I feel like this is your husband's fear, something about the fear of being an outsider, not fitting in, being different. Oop. Okay, apparently that's the thing too. So, cosmic angels exist beyond the constraint of this world, and when they incarnate into human form, they often struggle to fit in, feeling like outsiders in a foreign place. However, they remind you to embrace yourself fully, even if you feel different from those around you. Your uniqueness is your strength. The more you feel free, the more you free yourself, I don't know how I swap those around, from the limitations of human expectations, the more you will thrive. Trust in your cosmic nature and let your light shine without fear. So there is absolutely a fear of, there's a fear of judgment here. There's a fear of being an outsider. There's a fear of, and I think he's afraid of passing that on to his kids. And I do feel, we're going to read the cards today. I don't know why. I don't normally read cards when I do readings, but today for some reason they're like, You need to read this because the message is in the card. Energy healing and powerful downloads are occurring right now. You're receiving significant downloads that will enhance your manifestation, healing ability, and capacity to create a new reality. Your channeling gifts are real and embrace them. Spend time meditation to develop your channeling skills, follow your messages, the messages that you receive, and be open to trying new things. The cosmic angels remind you that you are a conduit for divine energy. By embracing your healing abilities and staying open to your spiritual experiences, you can significantly enhance your life and the life of others, your children. Trust in the messages you're receiving and take time to cultivate your spiritual gifts. So ironically, Christina, I do feel like this is something to do with you, but I also, again, feel like this is to do with your husband. I don't know why. I'm getting more downloads about him, and I feel like he has gifts and he has shut them down. And so because of that, now he's afraid. Something happened to him, I think, when he was younger, where he could see things, hear things, again, get downloads, spiritual gifts, flipped him out. He probably got shunned out for it. These are, AJ, these are my cards. I actually designed these. They're not out yet, but they're going to be out soon. They're called the Realm Oracle deck. I freaking designed this and still can't remember the freaking name. So they're coming out hopefully in about a month or two. So you guys will be able to purchase them if you're interested. So this is where essentially the fear stems from. And it's something about, I don't know what school you're sending them to, but it obviously sounds like it's a little bit different, right? It's something just out of the norm or something a little bit different. It's challenging his norms. And so it's creating a level of fear. But again, going back to you here now, what I'm hearing is that you have manifestation abilities. So you can override, I'm just going to be blunt, you can totally override his fears here. The confidence in you will build his confidence. The strength in you is what the strength that he needs to find within himself. So the next card that you got is the magical people. If you believe it, then it must be true. But if you don't, that too also must be true. The magical people are here to remind you that you are the creator of your reality. Take a deep look at your beliefs and release those that keep you limited and small. Expand your mind beyond what you have been told and step into the infinite possibilities that await you. So literally is what I said before, right? You have to get a little delulu here, right? Where you have to become more powerful. Your belief has to be stronger than his fear. And his fear is influencing you, but the same way his fear influences you, your power influences his fear. And so this is I feel like this is the battle that's happening between you two, but you're also an inspiration to him because you are actually giving him the medicine that he needs right now through your children. So I don't know what this thing is with him, but I feel like there's something like that happening. I wish I could give you an exact plan on what to do, but this is what I'm hearing essentially. That just clicked. Awesome. That's what we're looking for. Right? So fear is a very, very powerful manipulator. And this is why the darker forces use this against all of us, because they know that fear stops us from believing in ourselves, from moving forward, from achieving, from doing anything. It paralyzes us. But the power of love, power itself, is also very powerful. And so it's just this, whoever is basically the strongest here, right? Yeah, that's all I'm getting for now. So does that make sense, Christina? Hopefully that helped. Let me know. Thank you. That is the message I need. Amazing. Best of luck. You got this. You got this. And sometimes people don't know what they don't know, right? So he'll find out once they're there and they're happy. Madurina or Madurima. I don't know if it's an M or an N. I can't remember. Sorry, my love. You're welcome. Best of luck. Yes, Loney. Hi, love. How are you doing? So good to see you again, my friend. By the way, I am so proud of Loney, everybody. She is been doing such amazing work herself. She's been doing such powerful changes. And yes, by the way, yes, I do. So you can go onto my website. You can contact me there directly. If you want to do a one-on-one reading. If you're from Insight Timer, I will give you guys a big discount because my hourly rate is pretty high. So I'm always happy just to basically offer what you guys can afford. But it is obviously an hour of my time, so I'm always happy to work with you guys. But just send me an email if you're interested and we can work something out. I have been facing mental issues with my husband for a very long time, but now my husband has started doing the same things with my son. The family is falling apart. My son is turning 18. Marital. Okay, I see what you mean. Oh, I see. Marital, not mental. Maybe it's mental. That's probably why I said it. But let's see what comes up. It's probably mental, my friend. Yeah, but let's see what comes up. I'm just rereading your message. I'm tuning in. Has started doing the same things with my son. Okay, I see what you mean. So he's starting to have issues with your son the same way he's having issues with you. Okay, now I'm with you. Okay, so I'm closing the energies with whoever was before, and now I'm just opening up the energies with you. Okay, let's see what comes up. Guys, how cool are my cards, you guys? Come on. Look how dope this is. I am so proud of my cards. I cannot wait for everybody to be able to buy them. Yes, usually when people, I do feel like I mean, I don't think it's an accident that I said that. And yeah, guys, by the way, I also want to obviously offer everybody here a discount on my stuff because you guys are awesome and I love you and I love Insight Timer, so I want to give the best deals to everybody whenever I can, whenever it's going to happen. You know what I love about these cards, by the way, guys, is they're so good to give yourself readings because a lot of the times I find it personally very difficult to give myself a reading with a lot of the cards. I'm much better at giving other people readings, obviously, because I do this for a job. But I could possibly, I mean, they will be on eBay, so you just probably have to pay shipping costs, EI. But I will have them here, so as long as you're happy to pay the shipping costs, I can always, you can always contact me again directly, guys, and then I can work something out with you and do like a special deal with you. I'd rather you have the cards than anything else. Oh, fuck. All right. Okay. So, sorry, I said fuck because the vampire card came out. So when the vampire card, if I ever get the Shadow Walker's really bad, but the demon cards or anything like that, but it's nothing to freak out about, by the way. It just means that there is usually like issues, obviously, which we knew, but. So, Madurima, I hope I'm saying your name right, by the way. Hopefully I'm not butchering it. Please be patient. I'm just reading here. So you got the Mystic Murs, okay? The Mystic Murs usually has to do with suppressed shadows, okay? So this oftentimes, especially with the Mystic Murs, this could often be as well like there is intimacy issues in the relationship in sense of there is something there where one doesn't feel like they can truly be themselves in some way or another. And I kind of feel like I have to just go with what's happening. Which, by the way, please, 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 guys, as well, at the end of the day, when it comes to relationships and stuff, I am a reader, okay? I'm usually right, but please take everything with a grain of salt, okay? Don't go home and judge things or, take your time to assess things and make your own judgments on it because I am channeling information and it could come out wrong. So always keep that in mind, by the way. But I am feeling like your husband here is not very good at expressing his needs or his wants, and he's acting out in passive-aggressive ways to get it. And I do see a little bit of deception here. I don't know what that means more specifically. And this is also, of course, affecting you, my love, right? And so it's making you... it's affecting your self-worth, your self-esteem. obviously. And essentially, first and foremost, please don't allow that to happen. But I'm just going to read the card so it can give you some context here. The mystic Mers are deep, intense, and untamed, wild, mystical, and primal. Have you been listening to your primal needs and desires, or have you been ignoring them? It's time to dive into the depths of the shadows, connect with your sensuality, and embrace the true self-expression. Free yourself from limitations, awaken your wild nature, and let your soul flow freely. So, and I just want to go back for a second. So there is a disconnect here with the primal connection between you two, right? There is just a disconnect. This is what I'm hearing. The next thing I got is incarnated vampires. So the incarnated vampires are here to make you aware of where you may be giving your energy away. The real question is, why? Are you people pleasing? Seeking something from others, or allowing someone to take advantage of you? It's time to set firm boundaries and protect your energies. Your power is yours to keep. So reclaim it with clarity and self-respect. So what I'm hearing here, my love, is that you definitely have been trying to keep this going, but it comes to a point where you are losing a little bit, again, of your power and your self-respect here, because you're trying so hard to make this work that you're over-compromising. And here's the thing, when you do this, kids pick up on this. So I know your son is like 18, but maybe that's why he's been fighting with him as well, because he's just trying to stand up for you as well. He's trying to fight him because you maybe are so tired of it, or you're just over repeating the same things and not getting what you want. So I will tell you something here, and then I'll give you a solution here, but I will tell you something with relationships when they're not working. Here's the biggest question, which it makes total sense, which, by the way, this is not coming from, this is what I've heard somebody else say. If you knew that in the next 10, 20 years, this person will never change, they're never going to make any changes, nothing's going to change, what would your decision be? We constantly expect people to hit their head and suddenly like have this epiphany and love us or make better choices. Oftentimes they don't. So if you know that this isn't going to happen, what is your decision based on that? And if you're giving and giving and giving and giving and giving and nothing's coming back, why? It's like you're forcing someone to be something, to do something that they're just not going to do or want to do, right? So the way to reclaim your power is either you accept it as it is and there's nothing that you can do about it, or you walk away. Now, if that's not an option for you, then there are other things that you can do to bring yourself happiness, to self-express regardless of their validation, their approval. But that can get a little bit difficult, right? So the last card that we got is the shapeshifter. The shapeshifters are asking you to embrace adaptability. This situation requires you to be more flexible, open-minded, and willing to shift your perspective. There may be a need for compromise. Finding a balance where all involved can benefit. By flowing with the changes instead of resisting them, you can discover new opportunities and solutions that create a win-win outcome. Trust in your ability to adjust and transform as needed. So what's coming up here more than anything else is that you guys also have defaulted to the same things over and over again. So in relationships, when you've been with somebody for a long time, you trigger each other, and those triggers actually tend to just be basically repetitive. And so what is required here, if you want to really save it as well, is that you need to break the cycle. And on top of everything is you need to tap into a little bit more of your wild side. Not be afraid to claim your wild side. So how are you going to break the pattern? See, before we walk into the room, yeah, the pattern's a big one. Even before we walk into the room, you've already triggered each other. If you've lived with somebody for a very long time and they piss you off and they haven't done the dishes and you walk in, that's going to trigger that energy, right? And that's going to start the argument. And then the argument's going to lead to the other thing that they didn't do last week and didn't take out the trash and whatever that fucking story is, right? So the minute you feel triggered, don't do what you normally do. Change the pattern. So instead of turning around with that energy and going, I fucking told you to put the fucking dishes away, obviously expecting them to go, okay, no, they're going to go, well, don't talk to me like that, and then here we go, okay? Now, with my husband, for instance, when I find myself triggered, I've noticed that there's certain things that when I do it, it triggers him, right? So now what I do is I catch him at the right time, I sit him down, and I'm like, hey, babe, listen, very different energy from what I'm actually feeling. So thank you so much, by the way, babe, for doing this for the other day. I so appreciate that. But by the way, you left the dishes out last night. And when you do that, it makes me feel this way. And when it makes me feel this way, I get mad. And when I get mad, I'm going to act out like this. Now, I would so be grateful if you could just be a little bit more considerate, because the way I feel like what you're doing this, it makes me feel like I'm not valued and important and I'm a slave. Whatever the story it is that you're telling yourself. So if you could just do them for me, I would be so grateful, and it would make me feel like I'm seen and valued. Sounds crazy, guys, but I'm telling you, you can change relationships, communication between relationships. It doesn't always happen all the time, okay? There's some days that I turn around and I'm like, you this and you that, okay? My husband does not listen. He expects, okay, so already here, Madhurima, this is an example, right? This is a pattern right here. And I'm not saying that you're wrong, okay? Well, there is a lot that's lacking in this relationship for sure, my love, because it's built up over time. But, oh, thank you, Jacqueline. Jacqueline. Hey. The dishes are such a universal trigger. But you know what, Tim? It's never about the dishes. The argument that you have isn't about the actual argument. The dishes is not about the dishes. It's about the fact that I didn't feel important enough, right? So I didn't feel like he thought of me. That's the issue. It's not the fucking dishes. And so we got to remember that. Anyway, but so, Madhurina, so very, very important. I really need you to listen to this. You hear what you're saying. My husband does not listen. He expects everyone to listen. You're probably right. Now, when it comes to relationships, unfortunately, right and wrong isn't going to happen. Okay? So it's either, do you want to work things out, or do you want to be right? And you are probably right. But that's already a trigger in itself. You've already set your mind that your husband, so when you see your husband, you walk in with this energy that he does not listen. And guess what happens? That triggers him. And so he's not going to listen. So imagine if you walked in with the energies like, I know he's capable of listening. I just have to learn how to get him to listen. So you feel the energy from going like this to like this. There's a possibility, as opposed to this is how it is and there's no other option. This is why relationships, guys, are so fucking complicated. And we have to be so self-aware of the triggers, which are not easy. And by the way, I'm not taking, and you could be 110% right, but if it's about the relationship, unfortunately, our pride has to go down the fucking drain. And I'm not saying about self-sacrificing. That's a very different thing. And it comes to a point, by the way, it takes two to tango. So if the other person at some point does not meet you and you are trying different things, my advice is walk away, because it's not worth your mental health. It's not worth your life, which is the most precious thing that you have. But if you want to fight for this relationship, if you think there is still hope, and there's a reason why you loved him, there's a reason why you met, he does love you. Maybe, I don't know, I'm not him, but we'd like to think that he does, right? So we're just going to go with the best energy here. But you cannot go in with that energy like he doesn't listen and he expects everybody to listen to him. If that's the case, and you've tried everything under the sun, you've tried to be nice, you've tried to be this, you've tried to do that, again, I told you here, if you know he's never going to change and this is what you're going to have to live with for the rest of your life, then you have to either be at peace with it or walk away. There's no other option here. But I do feel like there is some adaptability, because this card would not have come out. The shapeshifter would not have come up. So you have to change your approach if you want him to hear you. You have to completely change the way that you see him, because right now he's the enemy. And imagine if he walks in and he sees you as the enemy, what's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to get defensive, right? Because you can feel that energy. It's not even what you say, it's how the energy is coming out. So a lot of the times when people do energy work with healing relationships, is that even with my husband, some days I just want to punch him in the face. Obviously, I'm not going to do it. I love him to death. But, you know, you get in each other's nerves. It happens with relationships. But then I realize that I'm doing that. I'm like, okay, I'm seeing him right now as the enemy. How can I see him as the man that I want to see him as? And so I remember the good things that he's done for me. I remember the fact that he's just having a moment. I change my energy, my connection to him in that moment, and then I move forward with that new energy, and it opens him up. Usually he's like, oh yeah, sorry, I'm being a dick. And I'm like, yeah, it's okay. You know, and then we can communicate and kind of get through whatever it is that we're going through. Everybody goes through this. But if I walk in with that resentment, with that anger, with that frustration, there is no way that he's going to go, oh, I love you and I'm excited to see you. Again, doesn't matter if it's right or wrong, doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. It's not the point. The point is, it's the relationship has to be above our personal ego or needs, which again could be right or wrong. This is why it's so hard. This is why a lot of marriages don't work out, because most people just want to be right or wrong, you know, and they're probably right or wrong. But it's the people who make the issue the thing to solve as opposed to their own need. And I'm not saying that you're not doing that, okay? You might be doing that and he might not. But it's very difficult. So again, I'm just telling you what's coming up here, okay? There is too much sacrifice going on here. There's a lot of negativity, obviously. I am moving my focus on my work. It's new stream of work. Will that work out for me? Well, I gotta be honest with you, my love. What I'm hearing here is that you're deflecting. So you can change your focus onto your job, but that relationship's still gonna be there. That problem's still gonna be there. Walking away from what the issue is not gonna fix it. You have to walk in it and through it to fix it. Pretending like it's not there, it's going to make it fester and grow and just continue. So I'm just going to reiterate what I just said. There are shadows here that need to be resolved from both of you, about you self-expressing yourself and your needs, and him as well. You're both not doing it, which is why you're not hearing each other out. You're both taking and giving energy. I feel like there's a level almost of like, fuck it, I'm just going to do it so he can be quiet, as opposed to doing the right thing. There is a way to compromise, but you have to change your perception of him. You have to change the way that you see him. You have to change your inner relationship to him to change the outer relationship. Very easier said than done. We are human, but it's really what's best for both, all involved, and helps everyone feel so much better. Yes, absolutely. And it is absolutely, guys, so much easier said than done. I'm not taking that away at all. So let me just pull up one more card for you, love. I know it's not what you want to hear, okay? And I know it's frustrating because you want me to tell you maybe something like, yes, he's going to change, or yes, something good is going to happen. And unfortunately, it's not that easy. Relationships, guys, are one of the hardest lessons that we experience in this lifetime. And Madhurima, we're all feeling for you. We've all not been where you're at, but we've all had that relationship where it's like, you know what I mean? And so we all feel for you. But my love, I'm telling you, if this has been a lot, this came out again. Okay. So at the end of the day, I'm going to read you the actual booklet here. So hopefully there's something in there for you. Sometimes the cards and the messages in the booklet are a little bit different, and I did that on purpose because I want it to be more than just one message. It's essential to consider all perspective in your current situation and allow your mind to adapt. Trust in your intuition and instincts to navigate the challenges successfully. Be observant of your surroundings. Know when to step back and when to take action. Let go of rigid expectations and judgments. Just be present and open your heart. The shapeshifter encourages you to be more flexible and open, reminding you that adapting to change and viewing situations from a different angle can lead to growth and successful outcome. Embrace the shifts of life and allow yourself to evolve with it. It's time of growth and expansion. Okay. I think that's pretty clear. So the number one thing that I also heard here, my friend, is basically like, instead of reacting, just allow it to observe. Okay, just allow it to process and then make a choice on how you want to react. Because, I mean, again, dude, totally get it. Easier said than done. But that's essentially the key ingredient here, okay? Whew. All right, my love. Well, I'm sending you the best of luck. I know you've got this. Just really reflect on what we said. Again, I feel for you because I'm telling you, it's easy for me to sit here and tell you all of this. But I know that there is something in you that can make the changes happen that you want and that you need. Okay? Sharon, you're next, my love. Sending you love. In a live last night, Ignatius said, before reacting, pause. Yes, big one. Yes, absolutely. And again, you know, I'm a very impulsive person. I can be very, oh, fuck, man. The other day, what did I do? I saw a TikTok. This is an example, guys, of like, don't react. So when it comes to animals and stuff like that, I am like super mama bear beast mode. Like, I am a savage when it comes to protecting animals. I have no compassion for people. I become very aggressive because the level of cruelty that happens to animals brings out the beast in me. Having said that, it has its place, but some trainer put up on TikTok basically that, you know, they were basically telling people not to go and get dogs from breeders. So not from breeders, sorry, from rescues. Which of course pissed me off. And so I started like replying to this and like, you know, going off and doing my thing. And then I was like, you know what? I deleted the post like 3 times because I was getting so angry. And then I was like, you know what? Just listen to what she's saying because I think you're missing the point here. She is a dog trainer. She probably has the best interest of the dogs. Maybe I'm missing something here. So I went back and then I looked at her page and then I looked at her history and then I was like, okay, I really jumped to conclusions here. I think she meant well. I only heard don't go to rescues. But what she was saying basically was that some rescues are so overflown that they would just get you to take any dog without giving you the full backstory. Again, I don't agree with her post, but I realized that she wasn't coming from this evil place and telling people that. I misunderstood it from that place because it triggered me. And so when we get triggered, our emotions go from 0 to 100 and then we just get this like, only heard that section. And so when I started looking at her page and all this sort of stuff, I was like, oh my God, it's like, thank God I didn't post that. So again, guys, you know, just be aware. We all do it. I do it. We all do it. But it's important. I'm starting to teach myself that when I get that fire beast mode come out, really, that's never the time to react. Just do not. Just do not. Okay. Okay, I'm with you now, Sharon. My husband passed away. What advice can my spirit guides and husband give to me? Much gratitude. Or general. Okay, well, let's see what comes up. No, Tim, I'm a Gemini. I am a Gemini. I'm not Aries. I am just half animal. And I am no, I'm not. I can be very zen and I can be very peaceful. I'm all about all that. But when it comes to animals, I will always put them first. And I even told my husband that. I was like, don't ever let me choose between you and the dogs because the dogs will win. My rat will win. My mice will win. My hamsters will win. Like, no. I chose to dedicate my life to rescuing. And there's a reason for that. Because they need us. Okay, so I'm doing these cards. So first and foremost, Sharon, I want to say I'm so sorry for your loss, my love. It's just absolutely heartbreaking to lose somebody that we love and that is so close to us. But I do want to say immediately I'm getting something about... I've been watching a ton of near-death experiences because it has given me a lot of peace around what happens from people who have transitioned and then actually come back. And a lot of the times they tell us that it is wonderful on the other side, that it is a peaceful place. They often, you know, want to go back. They don't want to come back here. So I don't know if this is going to give you some level of peace, but I just want you to know that sometimes watching that stuff can help us understand that, you know, they're actually in a much better place than we are. Hey, Munchkin. Do you want to come up? Hello. My rat wants to come out. Hello, mummies. He's a good boy. Yes, he is. I can't. I'm doing a reading. Give me 1 second and I'll let you out. Okay, no more cards are coming here. Just give me 1 second because my rat wants to come out. Stay. Everybody say hi. All right, Bubba, stay here. But you have to be a good boy. So, you want to say hi to everyone? Oops. Okay, here we go. Sometimes takes a minute for the cards to jump out. Come here, Bubba. I'll put you to bed. I love you. All right. An illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action. A relationship that continues to grow closer. Forgiveness. The positive resolution of a conflict. Oh, I love this. This is actually giving me, this is about your partner. Organization and logic, structure, discipline, and leadership. And then we got the magical people on top of all of it. If you believe it, it must be true. If you don't, that also must be true. The magical people are here to remind you that you are the creator of your reality. Take a deep look at your beliefs and release those that keep you limited and small. Expand your mind beyond what you have been told and step into the infinite of possibilities. Okay, so, sure, there's quite a few things that are coming here. So, one of them is essentially, there's a couple of things. One is to do with the relationship with your husband, which is basically, let's just deal with that one first because I think that this is pretty direct. Very important, a relationship that continues to grow closer. So oftentimes what happens with us, because we have a physical body, we forget that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And even though we cannot see them, even though sometimes we may not even feel them, it doesn't mean that they're not there. We can continue to build a relationship with somebody who's passed on. I still talk to my grandfather, who I didn't know very well, but he left a big impact on me. And so the way it works for me, it's that sometimes when I think of him, I know he's reaching out to me. And when he does, I say, hey, no, I'm listening. Good to see you. You know, I might have like a little chat with him or whatever. And that this is where also the limiting beliefs comes in two ways for you. So think about the limiting beliefs that you have, right? Which all humans have this, but it's like, oh, well, that I'm just being delusional. I'm just being fucking crazy, or, you know, whatever the story is that we tell ourselves, but that is not true. At the end of the day, this is the experience that you're having in this life, and make it the best experience for yourself. And even if it makes you crazy and delusional, if it works for you, if it's something that gives you peace, joy, gives more meaning to your soul, do it. So talking to him, asking him to give you signs. And you might see a sign, right? And then we're like, oh, that's just a coincidence, right? This is the thing that we do very often. Then ask him to give you another sign and another sign and another sign. Do not stop having that relationship with them just because they're transitioned. And that's very important, because this is going to make you feel fulfilled. Another thing that I do as well, for instance, I don't have the best relationship with my father. or my mother. But I do have a very deep relationship with my father's soul. And I constantly talk to that part of him that is not in the physical, because that makes me happy and that brings me peace with the physical version of him. So even people who are here, even though you and I are here, our soul's kind of here, but it's also somewhere else. That's why we have our higher self. And so we can establish relationships with those parts of us as well as the physical. The difference is we live in a physical world, so we humans need physical, concrete things to feel like it's real. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's true, because there's so many things that we do not see that are happening at all given times that we are constantly having a relationship with. So, what are you doing? Are you being a silly boy? He's a little boy. So that's just something for you to think about, right? And I want you, and I really encourage you to continue that relationship and talking to him. If he pops up in your head, sometimes that's him maybe saying, hi, I'm here, I'm listening. And oftentimes we can tell them things like, I really need some love. I really need a sign. Can you, something that means something to you too, right? It could be a specific symbol or a specific image or a specific flower. It could be anything, a name or something, and say, hey, I really need a sign from you just to know that you're around. Can you give me that somehow? And then just wait and see what happens. So that relationship can continue to be there and can continue to grow even though he's not physically here. I still connect with my grandpa by living my life the way I think he would have. He was a great man. Oh, I love that, Tim. That's so cool. Now, the other thing that Sharon came up, and this might be a message from him as well, I don't know. You have this illusion happening, okay? So again, going back to the magicians, if you believe it, it's true. But if you also don't believe it, it's also true. Okay, so what I'm hearing here is that you have a lot of mental blocks in the sense of you allow the probably societal opinions of others, which by the way, we all do up to a point, obviously. A lot of the time what happens with people like me who do what I do is literally spending time decoding and reprogramming these belief systems and challenging them essentially. But an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action. So whatever this illusion that you've created essentially, or that you believe in, or whatever belief systems that you have formed are confining you. And these are basically creating a restriction, like you feel restricted, like you can only get so far, you can only do so much. And that's why you're kind of probably feeling a little bit stuck, my love. So I invite you to expand your beliefs and challenge your beliefs and think outside the box and not be afraid of it, because you don't have to share that with anyone, by the way. That's the other thing. Like, we often don't express these things because we think, oh, I have to share it because, again, I need proof or validation somehow. And you don't. The only thing that you need to do is prove it to yourself and experience it for yourself. And the minute you start expanding your mind and seeing what happens, experiences start changing, things start happening, manifestations start occurring. That's the proof that you need. It's that your life starts changing. And then the other thing is here is like organization, logic, structure, and discipline, leadership. So what I'm hearing here essentially is that you need to be more of a leader in your own life. Stop allowing so much the opinion, society, everything on the outside to dictate what you want. You need to start making choices, Sharon, for yourself as you want, because at the end of the day, guys, I really often think about this as well. It's like we all have a limited time here, right? And so again, a lot of the times when people transition, one of the things that they regret is the things that they didn't do, that they wanted to do, that they didn't do, or the fact that they followed the society because that's, have children and do this, but that's not what you really wanted to do, right? And for me now, it's so important just to do what I want, and what makes me happy. And the fact that I can look back in 10, 20 years time and say, wow, I literally lived by what I wanted to do and I had the best life because I followed my wildness. So this is the invitation for you, Sharon, for you to revisit these limiting beliefs and start changing them, because these are the things that are keeping you stuck, keeping you confined. And when you free yourself from them, when you start stepping outside of your comfort zone and trying new things, I just realized my fly's undone. this is when your life starts getting a little bit more exciting and expanding, and new things start happening for you. Does that make sense, Sharon? What are you doing? What are you gonna do? Look at this little bum bum. I washed you, and why do you smell? You don't have coffee. That's not going to be good for you. That very much resonates with me. Okay, amazing, my love. So is there anything else that I can help you with? Do you feel like you received the messages that you need at this time? Prince. You're not Prince. You're Hendrix. How's your eye, my love? Can I have a kiss? Oops, what? Wait, Oh, thank you, Sharon. I so appreciate that. I'm sending you so much love, and keep talking to him because he's listening, I promise you. All right, Julia, you're next. You're the last one. And then after Julia, I'm just going to put him away. After Julia, I will take questions. Just give you guys a quicker reading. Come on. I have to be careful because my dog is out, and obviously having a dog and a cat and a rat, not a good combo. So all right, Julia, so you're next. What is your question? Whatever comes through. Okay. Bam. So I'm just going to close the energies with Sharon. Ooh. I got a little tingle. Hi, Baba. I'll feed you in a minute. Yeah, I see you, my love. Apparently, they really want to talk to you. So give me a second. They're all falling out. The one at the time. Hi, honey. Yeah, I see you, my love. I see you. It's not time yet. I'll feed you in a second. Oh, he looks gnarly. Okay, I guess these are the cards. Just so you guys know, I was shuffling and 2 cards were just sitting right there. So I missed something, but apparently this is what's coming up. So we're just going to go with it. So you got 2 cards here. You got healing and believe in magic. Now is the time for you to give and receive healing. Everyone has natural abilities to heal others. Yes, even you, Julia. And then believe in magic. Open your eyes and see the magic that's all around you and in nature. The fairies of the Northern Lights say that you are part of nature, so you are magical too. So what I'm hearing here, my love, is that you have some healing gifts. And I think you know that, but you haven't been believing that in yourself. I think you've actually been questioning and maybe holding back and exploring that, unless you are in the industry for some reason. But there is something here that they're saying that you do have some healing gifts and some healing abilities. And of course, again, we learn what we give ourselves. So partly it's also like this is a time for you to start healing yourself. And I feel like with you, it's a lot to do with, again, your gifts. Like a lot of limiting beliefs are coming up today, guys. But what are the limiting beliefs around your gifts, around your abilities to help and heal others? And healing, guys, by the way, doesn't always come in the form of, I put my hands on you and now you're healed, okay? Healing comes in the form of many, many things. Music, art, expression, business, books, acting, okay? It could be anything. But what I'm hearing here is that you have healing abilities through something that you do, but you're questioning it. You're holding yourself back. There is a fear that you're making this up in your head. And so they're basically saying you're not. You actually genuinely have gifts and you genuinely have something special to give to others. And again, it's not about just putting your hands, waving your hands and doing the whole fucking woo-woo thing. It can be as simple as, you know, like I said, even making coffee, you know, or food. There's like actual kitchen witches, by the way, which is in my realm book. Kitchen witches, for instance, use food to heal people. They can also poison them, by the way, but like anything, good or bad, right? So, well, maybe that's you. Okay, so there you go. So everything that you do, what they're saying here right now is like, use your magic. So whenever you do anything, put that intention into it. So let's just say you are a chef, if that's your thing, or you love making food. When you make the food, essentially you're going to be channeling energy into that food, intention. Maybe you hear some music, maybe you hear, you see a symbol, maybe it's like just you feel the energy and the frequency going through you while you're stirring, okay? As silly and as simple as these things are, you'd be surprised at how much it can have a ripple effect. So they're saying you need to start believing in your abilities, start believing in the magic that's in you, start believing in who you really are and start seeing it, because you're not seeing it. You just think, oh, I'm just a cook. It's like, no, you're more than that. Oh, I don't know what else it is that you do. But there is more to you than meets the eye, and you just need to start like really believing and seeing that, essentially. So the message is pretty clear and straightforward. So let me see if anything else comes up. Hi, honey. I know you're hungry, Bubba. I'll feed you in a minute. How long are we? An hour and a half. That's not... Oh, it's okay. He'll be okay. He ate a lot today. He's the one with the big tumor. He's put on quite a bit of weight since I've been treating him. He's the one that I told you that the vet told me to put him down, and I was like, not time. Interesting. So you got the snake people. The snake people invite you to connect with your ancestors and your family lineage. Whatever situation you are facing now, it's time to heal and break the cycle. Within you lies ancient wisdom. Just as we inherit the lessons and traumas from our family, we also carry their gifts. Embracing this power, for it holds the key to your transformation and freedom. So I don't know, do you know much about your family lineage and stuff like that? Because I feel like there is something there for you to look into. But again, this is also the thing, right? So a lot of the limiting beliefs that you hold right now are also tied to it. So again, like it says here, we inherit the gifts, but we also inherit the lessons, right? So what is required of you right now is to break the cycle of the lessons, break the patterns, the cyclical patterns in your family, right? Every family has that. It's time to break that, because when you break free of that, you actually now amplify the gifts, and you're not just doing it for yourself, by the way, you're actually doing it for the future generation and for the generation before that, regardless of whether you have kids or not, by the way. This is an energetic thing. Many of us, guys, by the way, we don't know this, but when we heal ourselves, we're actually healing our own bloodline. There's a reason why we came into this reality through specific families, right? So when you heal yourself, I'll give you an example. In my family, everybody's worked as a farmer, a hunter, and in a slaughterhouse. Okay? And I'm a vegan. So, surprise, bitches. I've healed something within the family that has to do with the animal kingdom, which is probably why I came in so strongly with these beliefs, right? So, that's my thing, but your thing could be something very different, which could be you're just a housewife and that's all you're good for. Or you will never amount to anything, or it could be alcoholism, whatever the story is, right, guys? So when we break these cycles, we transform timelines. I have a feeling that something is blocking the progress. Okay, so what I would recommend is, this is where we go into meditation, guys. This is where our intuition needs to guide us. And our intuition, by the way, has a lot more information than we think. It's just the difference is some of us hear it and some of us ignore it. That's it. You either hear it or you ignore it. So, Julia, I invite you really to go into it. And I think deep down, you already know what that is. You already know what those blocks are. And the key to it is just not to listen to them and just not to repeat them. That's it. Now, sounds easier said than done. I get that. Because there's the programming, there's the fear, there's all of that. But literally, to stop the cycle is to stop the cycle. So, for instance, my dad lineage, this is a lineage of alcoholism and addiction, you know, and I had addictions when I was younger, and then I healed my addiction. So I healed a lot of that. And obviously it's easier said than done in the sense of I had addiction. So it's not easy to quit an addiction, but it's obvious that the addiction is the problem, right? And so you just got to stop using and abusing that drug. And this could be for anything. Whether it's a belief system, whether it's a pattern, whether it's whatever we do, whether it's anything. So the key is stop, break the cycle by stop repeating it and changing your behavior, changing your thoughts, changing the pattern. Good boy. He's drinking. So does that make sense? So that's what's coming up for you very, very strongly. You're welcome. All right, guys. Well, so if anybody else, I'm going to speak English. So if anybody else, I'm just very tired all of a sudden, which is fine. It's totally not a bad thing. But if anybody else has any more questions, now it's the time. I will take your questions. It'll be a quick answer. But, you know, if not, that's fine. If you just have a general question about my oracle cards, about the realms, about anything at all, spirituality, I'm here for you. That's what I'm here for. But if not, then we can close up soon. So I'm just opening up now for you. Please don't feel stupid, like any question that you're asking is stupid. There's no such thing. So feel free to ask anything that you feel like right now. I hope I'm making sense. Oh, that's a good one. Is there connection to birds? So I would say two of them are. One of them is the shapeshifters and one of them is the angelic realm. So the angelic realm essentially are very much attracted to birds because of the feathers. So it reminds them of the angel wings. But the shapeshifters in general are attracted to animals. So I'm a shapeshifter. And ironically, my totem animal is an eagle. So I have a strong connection to birds because of that. But yes. So, and by the way, guys, I've discovered, I think it's like 50 realms, but there are so many more. So just so you know. But yes. What should I tell my girlfriend when I see her at my best friend's wedding next week? Your ex-girlfriend. Good riddance. No, I'm joking, Tim. What should you tell her? What do you want to tell her? I mean, what happened? Do you want me to take a card for you, or do you want my advice? Because if it's my advice, it could be very different to what the cards are telling. But like essentially what happened, because if you broke up for whatever reason, again, guys, I would really recommend this. If things don't work out with a person, you have to see it as a blessing, even though it may not feel like it sometimes. There's a reason why things didn't work out. And I always say, regardless of how awful or wrong an ex is, there's a reason why you love them. There's a lesson there. And I always feel like just, I don't know, let him go. Speaking of birds, I just saw a beautiful peacock on my drive home. Oh, I love peacocks. See, I have peacocks everywhere. They have that eye, by the way, in their feathers, which is what I like about them. But they're also a symbol of power and royalty, which is why I have that wall behind me. Oh, I know, right? I wish you guys could send pictures and stuff. That'd be kind of cool. It's weird they don't do it. I also wish that I could just randomly just hop on and just like do lives whenever I feel like it, but I have to schedule them. We dated 6.5 years and it was the right choice to do so. She was my only girlfriend so far. Aw, I've just been healing slowly. I hear you. You know, Tim, I think don't say anything. Just watch, just listen, just feel, because I think you'd be very surprised at how time can change the way that you see somebody or the way that you feel about somebody. So my advice is don't say anything. Just listen and see what comes up. Carrie, saw some peacocks in the park yesterday. Love that, April. I put peacock feathers in my wedding bouquet. Oh, I love that. I didn't do that. I should have done that. I had roses for mine, like pink and white roses and stuff, but that's cool. Yes. Peacocks. I have to look up their meaning because I'm sure there's more to it. I'm sure there's a reason why I got this, and I was like 2 years ago. The Stoic philosopher Zeno said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we could listen more than talk less." So that resonates. I love that. It's true though, isn't it? We have 2 ears and 1 mouth. That's great. Yeah, if you don't know what to do, guys, don't do anything at all. If you're not sure, oftentimes we put so much pressure on ourselves, something like this, right? And so you're like, oh my God, I need to say something or I need to do something. And then you just work yourself up to like put so much pressure on yourself to do and say something, right? And then you get there and you say something stupid. That's something that I would totally do, by the way. So the best thing that I've learned is sometimes just don't say anything at all. Just let things reveal themselves to you and then you will know what to do. Hey, Nicola, how you doing? So guys, I'm just waiting. If you guys have any more questions, feel free right now. I think Inside Time is watching, by the way. I don't know. But if they are, hello. We love you. Love your lives. Got to go now. Oh, no worries, EI. Alex, hello, everyone. Oh, so cute, you guys. So if anybody has any more questions, I guess we could close up. Let me know. But again, I'm here. I hope I can have a better week. Absolutely, Nicola. We wish that for you too, my love. Sometimes life is just, sometimes life is just difficult. Oh, thank you, Tim. I appreciate that, my friend. That's so sweet of you. Yes, so guys, just remember, by the way, today's a new moon in Taurus, okay? So it's a wonderful day. So if you're having a hard day today, Nicola, today is the day that you can start manifesting. Today is the day to set powerful intentions, okay? Today's the day to make a vision board, you guys. Today is the day to sit down and do some affirmations, to do a candle ritual, to do something, because it is where the portals open and it sets up for the next 6 months. So I would highly recommend that you do it. What about my cards? Yes, love. Thank you so much. So the Realms Oracle cards, guys, I'm so proud of this. I designed everything myself. This is actually not, this is a sample, so this is not going to look like this here. I got 2 samples, but the inside will look like this. And then the back will be like this. So they're manufacturing them right now as we speak. And they'll be out hopefully in a month or 2 max. And then I'll have them up on eBay. I'll have them up on my website. I will have them up maybe on Amazon. I'm still deciding whether I'm going to reopen an Amazon account. But they're amazing. I love them, obviously, because I made them. But just so you guys know, from this, there will also be a book coming out. So I'm thinking of doing an online course for people to become realm readers. So I'm going to teach you how to read realms. Essentially, think of it this way. We all have a star sign, right? And the star sign comes with personality traits and all that sort of stuff. This is the same idea. So you'll be able to basically, based on seeing somebody, you'll be able to determine what realm they're from, and therefore you'll be able to know what their gifts are, what their lessons are, what the healing that they need, and the cards are going to be linked up to the book as well. So that's all coming out soon. After last week, I go of the previous GP surgery. Hope that be it. Sounds great. The difficult neighbor need a good week. There's nothing worse than having difficult neighbors, man. But they teach you a lot. Like, you probably need to move if you can. Giddy up, nice. I love that. Well, Nicola, listen, my love. So do me a favor, honestly. Today, take a pen and paper and set some intentions. I know you can't afford that, but you can manifest things. You see, guys, when we tell ourselves that we can't, we can't. And I'm not saying that right now that isn't your reality, because I've been there. I actually had a horrible, horrible, horrible neighbor once. It's horrible. It's not fun. I completely feel you. And I too at the time could not move. I was actually, that was probably just before my nervous breakdown. So I was in a really, really bad place, and this neighbor was really aggressive and just like yelled at me all the time, and he was just knocking on my door and complaining all the time. And of course, I was always the one home, never my roommate when that happened. So I know what that feels like. So essentially, what I would really recommend is start to like bring your focus towards what you do want, not what you don't want. Yeah, I can take a card for you, my love. So let's just see what comes up. But as long as you keep bringing your energy and focus towards what's happening and the reality that you have, you keep amplifying that, okay? And so what I started doing at that time, I started healing, I started doing manifestation work. And even though at the time my nervous breakdown felt like the worst thing ever, it ended up being the best thing because number one, I moved out of that apartment. And then number two, I started my healing journey like really, really seriously. So you got a couple of cards here. Okay, Nicola, so just pay attention here. So you got the child, have confidence, and time to go. So the time to go, we all know what that means. So this is inner child stuff for you, Nicola. Essentially what I'm hearing here is that these traumas that are happening on the outside, for example, your neighbor, are actually inner shadows that are unhealed from your childhood. So if you think of it this way, it's like if you've always had a very critical parent, or if you've had somebody who was abusive in your childhood, oftentimes we manifest them in our realities, such as a neighbor, such as a partner, such as a friend. So what I'm hearing here is that one of the things that you can begin to do is, your mom was critical, yes. So one of the things that you can do now is really heal yourself and start looking at the things that you do not like on the outside and ask yourself, okay, if these are a reflection of something that's going on within me, how can I give myself the love that I'm not getting from the outside? So if you're getting criticized, start nurturing yourself. Have confidence. So you lack a lot of confidence in your abilities to change your reality, and you feel like you're very stuck, okay? So you got to start building that confidence. You got to start saying to yourself, I can change my reality. I can do something about this. Even though right now I don't know how, I have no idea how it's going to happen. And even though everything around me is telling me that it's not possible, I am telling you, you started drawing again. There you go. That builds your confidence. You start believing in your talent. So little things like that, you want to build your confidence, okay? And then finally, time to go. The sun sets and rises each day, and it's the same with the avenues in your life. See the beauty with each sunset in your life, and know that the sun will also rise again tomorrow. Endings are merely the start of new beginnings, and we are with you through each phase and cycle. So again, whatever you're going through right now, just understand it is a phase, it is a cycle, but you need to focus on changing. See, there you go, Nicola. You plan on fixing up and selling your house. So remember how 2 minutes ago you told me I can't afford it? If you believe that, then that's what's your reality going to be. But if you shift your focus now to, I can fix this and I can sell this. Suddenly we have an opportunity, right? Everything's in the moment. Every choice that you make leads to something. So make the wisest choices. Doesn't matter how long it takes. Get out. You know what I mean? It's not working out for you, get out, and then set the intention to draw a neighbor who you do align with, who is good. Because that's also very important, because sometimes when we shift and we haven't healed, we end up in the same situation. So when I manifested this house, I made sure that my neighbors were nice. And in fact, they're amazing. We talk to each other. We've helped each other out. It's been so easy. So easy. But if I didn't heal that, I would have attracted a really shitty neighbor again. Experience a feeling of mismatch with people socially and a clouded mind. Could I have guidance card for now to shift into clarity and connection? Hey, Ella, sure. Oh, that popped out. Itchy ear. So this is something to do with giving and receiving. The entire universe operates on a cycle similar to your inhalation and exhalation. When you only exhale, give, or only inhale, receive, you become out of rhythm with the universe. For optimal health, energy and replenishment, balance each inhalation in your life and exhalation. So the energy is in balance here, which is why you're feeling off, right? And you're experiencing relationships that don't match because there is an imbalance within you. So what I'm hearing here sometimes as well, Ella, is that we try to project a version of us out there that isn't really who we are, and we're giving too much energy out. And then the energy that we get back, the reflection that we get back, we don't recognize it because it's essentially what we're giving out, and it's not really who we are. And this is so easy to fall into. By the way, this is not something like you're being deceptive or purposely doing it. It could just be you're trying to fit in, you're trying to make a connection, you're trying to figure out why these things are not working. So you're just basically like either people pleasing or, I don't know, trying to express yourself. This is something that I fell into that took me forever to realize that I was doing, right? And then the minute I stopped doing it and start just being myself, then I started attracting people who were more in alignment with who I am. And never going to be perfect because we're humans. But they were much better, they were much healthier, they were much more beautiful, more meaningful, and they keep growing, right? So if there is a mismatch, look at yourself and say, am I being true to myself? Am I really doing the things that I really want and love? Trying to make myself unobtrusive. Oh, okay. That's a very smart word, dolls. Okay, but is that who you really are? Right? So that's the thing, it's like I'm a very confrontational person. Like if I have a problem, we're going to have a talk about it. Now, it doesn't mean that I have to be rude or mean, but I obviously pick my battles, but at the same time, I'm not going to pretend to be like a people pleaser or overly nice just because it makes you feel uncomfortable. That's your fucking problem. And, at the end of the day, sorry, that's who I am, okay? But it doesn't mean I'm confronting everybody. I'm having, but I'm like, if I have an issue, I'm the type of person, for a lot of people that can be an issue, right? But back in the day, I wouldn't. I would be quiet and I would pretend and I would do this and I would do that because it'd make everybody else happy but me. And then I found a balance where it's like, I found a way to speak up in such a way where it wasn't aggressive, it wasn't confrontational, in the sense of confrontation as in like, I'm gonna need to talk about this, No, I'm quite all over the place enthusiastic. But that's okay, my love. And you want to find people who celebrate you, who are in alignment with who you are. And this is the hard part, guys. The more you are yourself, the quicker the people will fall out and come in. So the people that don't align will fall out, and the people who do align will come in. And oftentimes we don't want that change because we hold on to people, places, and things that we're familiar with. And we're afraid of basically being left alone. But that's not the truth. When you're being yourself, you start radiating a type of light, a type of energy that draws other people in. I make new friends all the time now. And sometimes it makes a little bit of time. And there was a period there that I didn't have many people. But I like my crowd now, So just be aware of that. Nice. This resonates too. Yeah, nice, Nicola. All right, guys. So I think it's time to go. I need to feed my little babies. I need to do a little ritual because it's the new moon. So let's do a little ritual for the new moon. Yes, balance and authenticity, Ella. You got this, my love. And by the way, it's a journey, okay? It takes time to figure that out. It's not that easy. But when you do and you start seeing the people that you attract, it's beautiful. The fur baby dog, he's doing good. Peanut's down there. Peanut, you want to come and say hi? Come here. Come. Peanut. Nope. He's like, F you, Mom. I'm not moving. Authenticity is my stoic word to live by this year. I love that. Yes, Peanut is adorable, although he did bite me today again. So, Chihuahua power. He was underneath the couch and I tried to grab him and he doesn't like that because that's his territory. So whatever. He didn't hurt. He's tiny Chihuahua. He thinks he's a pit bull. So guys, I am so, so, so grateful to have shared this space with you. Thank you so much for giving me the privilege to connect, to be of service. There's nothing greater for me to do than to be of service, obviously. Hopefully I gave some good channeling advice and personal advice, because of course it's me, opinionated. No, but jokes aside, I really thank you so much for sharing this space, guys. It means so much to me to be able to have this community, to connect with you all, and to be here. I see some of you just show up and watch, which I'm so grateful. I love that. And some of you interact, and some of you ask for readings. So I'm always going to be here. Hopefully next Sunday I'll be here again at 3 o'clock. Make sure to obviously check out any of my online courses, my books, all of that sort of stuff. You can find them on my bio, on my website. You just need to check it out. And if you haven't followed me on Inside Timer, please do. Oh, thank you, Jacqueline. Sending you so much love. See, I gave myself a donation. You're like my mirror right now. I love that. Yes, my books are on Amazon. I'll give you guys a quick rundown since you're here. I have 3 books, three, yes. So one of them, this is a book that I have co-wrote with other authors. One of them was Jeremy Jackson from Baywatch. So I have a little story here. I have a little chapter. It's called The Imperfectly Perfect Campaign. There's a little bit about my backstory in here. So I tell a little bit about my story. I think this is the story of when I was in an abusive relationship. So this is something that maybe somebody who's gone through it, you can relate to it. And there are other stories of amazing co-authors in here. Then I have my first book, if you like poetry. This is my book of poetry. It's called Thoughts and Poems of a Suicide Girl. This one's more like an artsy kind of like book table. These are drawings that I did when I was younger. It's just poetry, thoughts, images, very cool, very fun. And yes, so this is my first book. And then if you want to build wealth, creating the millionaire mindset, this is actually a workbook. It's not an Audible, sorry. I have to figure out how to do that, because I do think that this should be on Audible, because this is actually really fun. I have a sense of humor. It's dark humor, but this is like funny. And these are like poems from when I was like 17, 15, going through all sorts of crazy stuff. So yeah. And then this one is fun, guys, because this is actual workbook. So every day you're supposed to do this for 32 days, okay? And essentially I give you affirmation and prompts and shadow work. So this is basically for those of you who have a poverty mindset and how to move out of a poverty mindset. So it gives you the baby steps to basically build up from that, which is really, really useful. You do have to commit to the 32 days though. If you do not commit to it, then don't do it. So essentially it gives you a little bit at the opening, and then you do like a prompt. So for instance, day 4, exploring money stories. Now that you're putting in the work, expect extra hidden layers to come to the surface. These are usually show up when we face roadblocks or challenges. What stories do you tell yourself about money, and where do they come from? And so essentially then you have to write down what that is, and then I give you affirmations to reprogram that belief system, and then you choose 1 or 2 affirmations, and then you repeat those affirmations over and over and over and over every day. Yes, I do have a podcast. So it's called The Meditation Channel. That's also my YouTube channel. It's really just meditations. I don't really go on there and talk as much because I've been super busy with my books and stuff, but I will get more into the podcast stuff later on. But it's called The Meditation Channel. That's also my YouTube. So yeah, guys, so if you want to read or whatever, feel free. These are on my website, on Amazon. This is actually my Jacqueline Joyce name, not Jacqueline Albergoni, because I got married. But I'm going to keep my Albergoni for social things moving forward. I just decided for that one to do my married name. But yeah, so that's it, guys. So I hope to see you soon. I hope to see you next time. Thank you for letting me do some advertising. Of course, not expected, guys. But I do a lot of stuff, and I'm very proud of my work. And I feel like at the end of the day, everything that I do is really designed to help you guys. Yeah, but my Jacqueline Joyce, it's not going to come out because I only used it once. But that's my book, or Jacqueline Albergoni, which you can see here. That's my before married name. So if you type in my name, things will come up on the internet. Yeah, the only one that's Jacqueline Joyce Nicola is this one. So if you put Jacqueline Joyce on Amazon, this should come up. But if you put Jacqueline Abogoni, the other two will come up. So yeah, guys. So thank you so much. Like I said, sorry, I'm just keep getting distracted. So thank you again. I hope you guys got something out of today. I hope you have an amazing, magical new moon in Taurus. Please, please, please do some kind of a ritual today. I promise you it'll set the intentions for the year. So take some time, have a nice bath, give yourself some candles, some love, and manifest today. All right, guys, I am sending you so much love. And as always, have a magical day. I need this. All right, guys. So I will talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you for hanging out. And thank you for the donations, guys. So, so, so grateful. Bye-bye.